let's go like this. Let's go with the knees and the feet together if you can, with the arms back. So it's more of a restorative child's pose. So it looks like this. So your feet and your knees come together, and unless, of course, this does not feel good. And then your arms reach back. And if you can grab the arches of your feet and let your forehead and let your elbows and everything kind of plop down. Just connect. Connect to your breath. Just a nice, slow, steady Ujjayi breathing. So that's inhale through your nose to the back of your throat, and exhale through the nose to the back of your throat. And like the practice, the breath is not perfect. Obviously, it's going to sustain you, it's going to move you, but don't get so hung up on it. Allow yourself to just be present. And if you do nothing else but just move and breathe a little on the mat, you're in good shape. Slide your arms forward slowly. Spread your palms wide, make a connection with the mat, and create a lift of your forearms up off the ground. So the arms aren't just plopping down. Yeah, the arms are active, they're engaged. And if the forehead is nowhere near the ground, that's fine. If your butt is nowhere near your heels, you just do what you can to spread your lower back. Press up onto all fours into a tabletop position. I didn't realize that my mat and my leggings match. I'm very, very green. Okay, so you're going to inhale, sink the spine down and look forward. And then exhale, round the spine deeply and look in. This is a very basic tabletop cat and cow. So go like that, sink the spine down and look forward, link movement with breath. Exhale, round, hollow, and look in. Again, sinking spine down and looking forward. Exhale, connect and round deeply and look in. One more, sinking the spine down and looking forward. Exhale, round, hollow, look in. Curl the right toes into the mat, come to a flat back tabletop, and just make a half plank. So your right knee is lifted up off the ground and your right leg is back and it's firm. So right toes curl into the mat. Yeah, this is your pelvis neutral. Perfect. And it's important to know where your body is in space. So you want to keep your pelvis neutral. Float your right leg up so it's hip height. Now, it's important that you don't open your hip when you do this. So everything is neutral to the ground. Your gaze, also known as your drishti if you're newer to this, is at the front skinny edge of your mat. So your neck is neutral. Slide your left arm forward like we're shaking hands. So your palm faces yes. Perfect. You got it. Yeah, like we're shaking hands. And then reach and stretch in opposite directions. And just pick a spot to focus on, hold the position, and breathe. Good. You're going to reach your left arm back like you're swimming with the palm down. You're going to bend your right knee in towards your right butt cheek, making like a 90-degree angle. The hand and the ankle may or may not match up. So you may not be able to get hold of your ankle. Don't force it. If you can't, you just hold it in space and keep lifting that quadricep and that thigh up. If you're able to get hold of the ankle, kick up and back and steer your chest forward. Keep your neck neutral and breathe. Little micro bend of your right arm so you don't go into hyperextension. That was a good adjustment, Franca. Perfect. Release the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Hold it up in space though. Feel. Good. Lower the left hand and the right knee, tabletop position. Slide your left leg back. Curl the toes into the mat. Make a half plank. Just do this much first. So if you just traveled, this is a good one because it just stretches out the hamstring and elongates the back side of the body. Then once you have your balance, lift the leg up so it's just hip height. Just do this much first. Then reach your arm forward. So I've found over the years that when you try and do everything all at once, that's when you fall on your face. So just do everything in pieces. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Create in a dimension of length in your body. And just guide the breath from fingertip to toes, from toes to fingertip, from crown of the head to tailbone and back again. Reach the right arm back, pause. Bend at your knee crease, maybe create a 90-degree angle, maybe not get hold of the ankle. Don't expect that both sides of the body are going to be the same. They're not. Fire up the thigh, steer the chest forward, and kick up and back. Breathe. Hug your right hip in. I know mine's like wanting to pop out, so hug it in. Release the arm and the leg, but keep it in space. Yeah. Hand and the knee to the floor. Walk the hands a little bit more forward and a little bit out. Curl the toes into the mat, lift the hips for a down dog. Spread your toes wide. Let your head fall down towards the ground, and you can bend behind your knees as much as you need this morning. Pump out the legs a couple times, shimmy your hips. Anything goes. Make this feel good. Feel the thumb, the index finger, the baby finger. Feel the outer tricep grip in. Press down. And then fix your eyes. When you're able to find stillness, you just pause and breathe. The birds are talking to each other. It's so cute. Roll forward, plank. From dog to plank. Maybe you found your sweet spot immediately. Maybe you need to walk it out. Maybe you need to immediately modify with your knees down. So listen to all the things that are going on in your body this morning. Lead with your chest. There's a broadening of the collarbone in the chest, the plugging in of your thumb, your index finger, your baby finger, a wrapping of your triceps, a hugging of the hips and the outer ankles. Breathe. If you know you need to drop your knees, please do so. Lower halfway to a push-up chaturanga. So the knees can drop. You can take a push-up with your knees down. Less is more. Straighten your arms and arrive back to plank. If it was ugly, drop your knees. Halfway to a push-up. If it was more like a belly flop, drop your knees. Re-straighten your arms to a plank position. Halfway to a push-up, chaturanga. Less is more. Neck is neutral. Re-straighten your arms, plank position. Hips up and back, down dog. Walk to the top of the mat. 2 big steps, 20 big steps, or maybe a light hop. Long spine when you arrive. If hands don't make it, hands slide to your shins. Weight is always forward, so we're out of the meaty part of our legs. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. So this is called half salutations. The arms slide straight up towards the sky. You look up a little, dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare, or your hands slide to your shins. You pick, but the weight stays forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Again, arms slide straight up towards the sky, look up. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare yourself, or hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. Arms slide straight up towards the sky, look up. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips and pause. Guide your left leg back, big step. Drop your knee on an angle unless this bothers you for some reason. If it does, if you feel like your knee is jamming into the ground, then just keep the kneecap lifted. Sweep your arms up, supported lunge. So it's really important anytime you lunge that you make sure your knee and your ankle are lined up. Your knee never comes over your ankle. And if your lower back feels sensitive, you pull out of it a little, okay? These are all the little things that we pay attention to. Arms are reaching up, eyes look up, and you just pause here. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Now you integrate your back knee if it's not lifted up off the ground already. And then you step your left foot forward to the top of the mat. Long spine, and you pause on the extension. Right leg takes a generous step back of mat. Pause. Drop your knee at an angle if that's available to you. Make sure the knee and the ankle track on the front leg, and then rise on your breath, supported lunge. Good. So ideally the thigh's on an angle. So see if you can get your knee back a little, Amy. Yeah. It's actually gonna probably feel better. Your right leg further back. Slide it back. There you go. And then your left hip hugs in. Good. Hands come down. Activate your right leg. spring your right foot forward, hips width distance. Stay long on the extension, look forward. Take a generous step back with your left leg. Pause, don't drop the knee. Left leg steps, a generous step back. Right hip grips in. Good, rise on your breath, crescent lunge. Steer the hip points forward, activate your right thigh. Squeeze the muscles around that back left hamstring and glute. And you want to lift from your hip points through your side ribs to your fingertips. Hands come down to frame your front foot, come to your fingertips and spring forward. Stay long on the extension and pause, keep the weight forward. Guide your right leg all the way back, big step. Make sure you don't feel like you're on a tightrope. You may need to walk your left foot a little over. Grip the hips in strong, activate your legs and rise on your breath, high lunge. So move accordingly. Sometimes you got to back out. Good. Heavy in that standing thigh, arms activate. Look up a little with your eyes without your neck dropping back. And you find balance, you find breath. Hands to frame your front foot, spring your right foot forward. Long spine on the extension, giant step back with your left leg. So just basically walking it out. Your right leg is forward, your left leg is back. Your right hip grips in. You turn your back foot on an angle now. Grip the right hip in, rise on your breath, warrior one. Steer that left side of the body forward more, Jody. You may need to walk your right foot a little more towards Franca, and then you're gonna have a little bit more space. Maybe the back left toes turn in a little more forward. There you go, you got it. Heavy in that standing thigh, activate your back left foot. Hands to frame your front foot, spring forward. One more time, extension on the long spine, nice long extension. Right foot takes a generous step back, pause. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. The left hip wants to pop out, hug it in, and then rise on your breath, warrior one, first warrior. As you come up, iron out all the kinks. Press heavy through your legs. Steer the right side of your ribs forward. Good work. Hands to frame your front foot. Step back, down dog. When you come to this dog, roll forward in one motion, plank position. Lower halfway to your push-up chaturanga. Drop your knees if you need support. Slide into your first up dog or baby cobra, depending on what's happening in your body. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, full breath out. So the fun thing about vinyasa is it's always the same poses, but sometimes you just reshaped a little different and it's totally a different experience. Look to the top of the mat, step, step, or float your feet there this morning. Long spine when you arrive, exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. So just 2 full sun A's and we'll move on. Arms slide straight up towards the sky, look up a little. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine to prepare, step, step, or float through your vinyasa. So you can just step, step, lower halfway to your push-up, slide through up dog or baby cobra, hips up and back, down dog. I mean, my kid's not even here and the playlist says it's made by Jake. I mean, like, I don't understand. Small reminders every day. We had a call with him yesterday. He didn't say more than 3 words. I'm like, this is a total waste of time. Total waste of time. We get no mail from him. Look where you want to go. Step, step, float, top of mat. That is fine. Long spine weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Reach up, stretch up all the way up towards the sky. My daughter called and said she needs bras. I was like, really? You didn't got in a week? You're gonna run boobies? Arms drop down. Yeah. Arms slide straight up towards jeans, bras and batteries. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bent knees, forward, fold. Long spine, prepare. Step, step, float through a vinyasa. It's pretty funny. Up dog pulls you through. This is what you have to look forward to. Downward facing dog. Oh, good. I'm coming over. Good. Arms stay really straight. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine to prepare. Exhale, fold. Let's sit into chair. Weight moves into the heels. Yeah, and you can take chair with your feet separated, but I wouldn't go more than hips width distance. Yeah, like 2 railroad tracks. And then think about steering your hips evenly back. And so your knees don't slide past one another. There's always a little arch in your low back and chair. And your arms are as straight as they're going to go. But to be truthful, sometimes our arms need to bend in this pose. Shoot up to stand up, drag it to prayer, and drop your arms. So from the top, arms slide straight up, sit heavy in your heels, chair. It's always easier for this way from the top. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine, prepare, step or float through your vinyasa. So it could just be a dog, up dog, nice. Hips up and back, down dog. The right foot lands, the back foot turns, warrior one. Take your time. You got it, Rob. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Plank, add in a push-up if it's not too much for your shoulders. Up dog is smooth, hips up and back, down dog. On your breath, on your beat, the left foot lands, the back foot turns, rise, warrior one. Back down we go through a vinyasa. Chaturanga push-ups are optional, up dogs or cobras. Hips up and back, down dog. Good, look where you wanna go. Step or float to the top of the mat. My inner hippie comes out. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. What does Laura Janae call me? She calls me a rugged princess. Shoot up to stand up, drag it to prayer, drop your arms. Here we go, arms slide straight up towards the sky, heavy in your heels, stick your butt way back, then sit chair. Good, then fold over bent knees, let your head go. Long spine to prepare, step or float through your vinyasa. So taking or leaving push-ups, back bends, yep, hips up and back, down dog. When you're ready, you step your right foot forward, back foot turns, warrior one. Yeah. Back down we go through your version of a vinyasa. Up dog, press even, hips up and back, down dog. The left foot lands, Rob, step your right foot forward because you did your left leg. Yeah, rise. Hands back down through your vinyasa. Upward facing is smooth. Yeah, hips up and back, down to dog. Nice, Amanda. Breath in, breath out. Arms stay nice and straight. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat, get there light. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again, chair. Weight into your heels. Press up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Again, arms slide straight up towards the sky. Sit heavy in your heels, chair pose. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine, step or float through your vinyasa. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns, rise, warrior one. Hands come back down through your vinyasa. Good. Left foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Come on up. Good. Back down we go through your vinyasa. Upward facing. Hips up and back, downward facing. Be still. Press firm through your hands. Keep your arms straight. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Sit heavy in your heels, chair pose. Press up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Last one. Arms stretch straight up. Sit heavy, chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine sets you up. Step or float through your vinyasa. So at this point, you're taking out, adding in push-ups if you feel like you want more. Hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns, rise. Anchor through your back foot. Yeah. Great. Hands back down, vinyasa, or you can just step back to a down dog too. And then when you're ready, the left foot lands, the back foot turns, you rise on your breath, take your time, come up, warrior one. Back down we go, through vinyasa, up dog, hips up and back, down dog. Breathe. Good, you're gonna look to your hands, you're gonna hop all the way through. It may not be so graceful and lay down for a sec. When you hit the floor, yeah, bend your knees in half, it's gonna look like this. The arms are gonna reach up like a Pilates roll up. You're gonna scoop up your belly, the lower back spreads across the back, you're just gonna hold. For some reason, this is crummy on your neck, just place your hands behind your head as an alternative. You're not really lifting from your neck, you're lifting from deep within your core muscles. Yeah, lift your legs on an angle that works for you. So if your lower back is super sensitive this morning, a 90-degree angle is gonna be the least aggressive, okay? On an angle is gonna be most aggressive. Good, rebend your legs, take your feet flat, lift yourself up higher. Yep. Exhale the breath, let that go. All right, pull yourself up. Lift your legs on an angle that works. We're doing this slow, which is annoying, I know. Rebend your legs, lift yourself higher. Exhale, let it go. Again, pull yourself up. It's humid, you're gonna start to sweat. Yeah, lift your legs on an angle. Rebend the legs, lift yourself up higher. Exhale, let it go. Pull yourself up. Lift your legs on an angle. Link your breath. Just link your breath. Rebend your legs, lift higher. Exhale, let it go. Hug your knees in, rock and roll. Cross your ankles, plant the hands, step to a plank. When you arrive in plank, hold. Yeah. Plank position, hold. Yeah, and if you need to drop your knees, you do that. Hold your plank. 3 push-ups, drop your knees if you need support. Halfway down, chaturanga push-up. I'm doing it with my knees down, it's just as challenging. Re-straighten, good. Again, halfway to a push-up, less is more. Re-straighten, slower you move, the more you'll get. Halfway to a push-up. Re-straighten, hips up and back, downward facing dog, nice work. Good, look to the top of the mat, step, step, float your feet there this morning. Long spine when you arrive, exhale, fold, sit into your chair pose, weight in your heels. Drag your hands to prayer, inhale your breath, hook the elbow, twist to the right. So even if you do this with your feet separated, keep the alignment, the 2 knees, the big toes, and the hips nice and even. The twist is happening where there's little baby ribs, right? So your ribs and your intercostals where there's movement. The rest of the spine is very, very straight. You're heavy in your heels and you're looking sideways or you're looking up. Your breath is flowing. Get out of your own way and going so deep. It's not important. Watch that the left knee, Amanda, doesn't slide past the right. Yeah. Pull around to chair. Sit a little deeper. I know. Drag your hands to prayer, hook the elbow, twist towards the left. Same direction, other direction, yep. Watch that the right knee doesn't slide past the left. Yes, get in there, open up your arms. Heavier in your heels, longer in your inhales and exhales. Stay with it. Smooth, slow breaths. Chair, pull around. Sit a little deeper. Shoot up to stand up, drag it to prayer, drop your arms and pause. Stand up nice and tall and just breathe. Feel the weight transfer back into your heels. Feel your quadriceps engaged. Standing on your right leg, bring your feet together and kick your left leg up. So you're just gonna make kind of like we did in that tabletop position early. You're gonna try and grab with your left hand and maybe even your right. So it's kind of like a golf grip. Yeah, where you stack your hands up. Good, if it's unavailable, you just create the shape. Little soft bend in your right knee. And then you start to hinge forward like we did in that tabletop. It's not about how far you're going or how deep you're going. It's about steering your chest forward, firing up your left thigh, and breathing right here. No opening of the hips. And if you fall, you restart again. If you have your ankle, flex your foot. If you've got more your base of your foot, point your toe. You're going to release the leg and the arm for warrior 3. Nice and slow, nice and easy, a little bit of a bend in your standing right thigh if you need to. And then step back, warrior 1. Yeah. And arrange your stance. Turn your left ribs forward to walk your right foot franca a little bit more to the right. Yeah, perfect. Drop your arms down, clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale your breath, open your heart and chest. Exhale, come forward for a version of humble warrior. Your stomach can rest on the top of your thigh. You can snuggle your right shoulder in. Regardless of which way you're taking it, your whole torso steers forward. So you're not opening your hips. Everything's squared off for the time being. You're heavy in those standing feet, and your right hip is gripping in. Stay with it. Good. Keep the bound hands if you can. Start to lead with your chest as you come up. Straighten your right leg on track. Keep your hands bound. Pivot open. So you're going to pivot so your legs go wide and you're going down the center with clasped hands. Inhale your breath, open the heart and chest. Exhale, bend at your knees and fold. And if you can keep the hands bound, that's great. If this nags any part of your body, doesn't feel good for you, you release the bind and you just take your hands directly to the floor. Bend a little more behind your knees. Bring your weight forward. Let your head go. Anytime you do, what? Yeah, anytime you do this posture, your head is dropping below your heart. You're creating a inversion, which is so wonderful for us. So if your hands are bound, come up halfway, okay? Everybody take their hands to their hips and pause with a long spine. Soften a little behind your knees. And then since we have space here, open up your arms like a capital letter T with your palms down. Bring more weight, Katie, forward into the balls of your feet. Now you got it. Lock up the sides of your abdominal wall. Lift your torso, Reg, like 3 inches higher. Pause there. Good. Now anchor your legs and start to slowly bring your upper body up. Do it really slow. So as you come up, your palms face open, your thumbs are up. Yes. Pivot your right toes forward from your right hip. Pivot your left toes in an inch. Good. Soften behind your front knee. You may need to make your stance a little longer or a little shorter. Make sure the right foot rob is completely forward. Yes, towards the movie screen. Keep going. You got it. And then pivot into Trikonasana triangle pose. So legs are straight and arms are straight. Grab anywhere on the front of your shin or utilize a block to the outside of your calf. Side ribs long. Look up with your eyes. This is my favorite song of the Black Crowes. They didn't play it the other night. I was so upset. Hold. Stay with it. Nice, Nancy. 2 more. Look to the floor. Place both hands down. Take your left palm. You're going to lean on that left hand. Vashisthasana side plank. Take your Vashi however this is best for you. So left hand down, right arm up. Stagger the feet. Drop the bottom knee. Whoops. Whatever you know you can kind of hold here. Lift a little higher. Eyes go to the floor, right hand goes down, plank position, halfway to a push-up. Pull yourself to an up dog, pause. Good, recurl the toes, chaturanga. plank position, hips up and back, down dog. That was just a little something extra. Look to the top of the mat, step or float. Get there light, long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold, root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. So I think the easiest way to take it is to bring your feet together and know that you're standing on your left leg. So soften behind your left knee, bend your right leg up, grab your ankle. Maybe it's with one hand or both. Yeah. So you create a back bend here. The second you do this, the eyes of the shoulders kind of move back, your left knee softens. And then when you're ready, and it may be an inch that you hip, you start to lean forward. And it's not about depth. It's not King Dancer, right? Which most of us know that pose, where it's like big and bold. It's about how deep you go. It's about ironing out the alignment, steering your chest forward, giving your right thigh a little bit more right. Stay with it. Lot of intention towards that left leg. Start to straighten out your right leg and your arms. Do it slow. Warrior 3. Your heart is higher. Your chest is steering towards the ground. If you fall, it's okay. You come back. So bend a lot behind your left knee and then take a giant step back, warrior 1. And you may need to arrange the stance a little better. Turn your right toes forward. First warrior, your hips are forward. Yes. Turn your right toes, Rob, more forward. Drop your arms, clasp your hands. Inhale the breath, lift the heart and chest. Exhale, come forward, humble. Stomach can rest on your thigh. You can snuggle in there with yourself if you feel like you have a little bit more. Yeah, grip your left hip in. Anchor your right foot and breathe. Yeah. And you get to a place with a posture where you want to feel enough that you know you're getting what you need, but you're not blowing yourself out. Good. Press heavy with your legs. Just lift your upper torso. Keep the hands bound. Straighten your left leg on track. With your hands bound, pivot the left toes in, arrange the stance so it's wide enough for you to go down the center with your hands bound if that's available, and fold. Yeah. If you get here and you're like, okay, having the hands bound doesn't feel good, then you let it go. Bend a little bit behind your knees. Yeah. That way the hips lift up and then you really get that body to come forward. Nice. If you have more opening of your shoulders, the bound hands move away from your lower back. Yeah, closer towards the base of your spine. Two more. Good, you're gonna come up halfway slow, just halfway with a lot of extension. Gather your hands to your hips, hug them in, a little softening behind your knees. Now we have this space. Open up your arms to the palm space down and bring your weight as far forward as you can to the balls of your feet without falling. Feel your outer arches and your inner arches grip. Good. And then very slowly start to rise on your breath. Come up really, really slow. So creating the strong shape of the body, the thumbs are up. From your left hip, turn your left toes out and just arrange that your right toes turn in a little on the angle because we're setting up for triangle. Inhale your breath. On the exhale, you pivot. You can soften behind your left knee. You could utilize a block. And if you're going to go for the block, go outside a calf. Yeah, you're good. Perfect. I like to pull up on the front of the shin, like I'm moving the skin or the pant legging. Yeah, kind of like you're pulling up because that's going to get the lift of the side ribs. Yeah, and the sensation that you're leaning back a little, but by all means, you're not in your low back. Looks really good. Anchor through your feet, use your breath, and just create a strong shape. Good. Look to the floor, circle the hands down, lean on your right hand, Vashisthasana side plank. I like to stagger the feet. But some days I get here and I'm like, I can't support myself. I'm going to drop my knee. If shoulder's an issue, forearm down. Reg, I know you like forearm down. Either way. Lift from your bottom hip through your top hip. Yes. Charge it up. Nice stuff. Beautiful. Nice, Katie. Lift a little higher. Eyes go down, plank position. Let's do this slow together. I think you could do it. Halfway to a push-up. Drag yourself to a slow up dog. Okay, recurl the toes. Bend your elbows, chaturanga, lengthen the tailbone. Plank position. You got it. Hips up and back, down dog. Step your right foot forward, crescent lunge. My concept is you rest at night when you sleep. So like, why rest on your yoga mat? Right, you're high on the ball of your back foot. Bring your arms forward like you're handing a tray of something to someone, okay? Wrap your left arm underneath your right arm and then step up. It may not be pretty. I'm warning you ahead of time. Wrap yourself up, eagle. Wrap your left thigh around. If your foot can go around your calf, wonderful and great, but it really doesn't make the posture. Bend your right leg more, aim. Steer your knees to the left and your upper body a little to the right. And get heavy in that standing heel. Squeeze. Rather than feeling like you're pulling your elbows down, lift your elbows up. Yeah. Good. Squeeze a little more. Good. What I want you to do is keep squeezing the legs. Just tip your body like a little forward. Find a lot of extension from your waist to the crown of your head. Look to the floor. You're going to unravel into Ardha Chandrasana. Utilize a block. You have to squeeze your right hip in and open it up. And if you need to reset because your balance kind of gives away, and you reset, you're on your right leg, everybody, and you open to Ardha. Right hand down. I use the block a little off the edge of the right baby toe. Yeah. Squeeze the right hip in. Lift from your inner left thigh. Add in whatever you feel you need here to make this work for you this morning, or just stay. Just stay, breathe. You got it. Three more breaths. Release art into Ardha if you are in anything fancy. Giant step back, warrior two. Do it slow. Warrior two. We haven't been here yet. It feels like a new posture. Warrior two. Look at your feet. Make sure you're not all over the place. Right foot intersects the back, left arch. Your right knee tracks open. Your collarbone breathes open. Good. Heavy in that standing thigh. Tailbone lengthens down. Then close your eyes and hold yourself up here in this pose for like 5 or 6 breaths. It's not forever. Sit a little deeper, guys. You're doing great. Blink your eyes open. Yeah, place your right hand on the instep of your foot. I like a block. I place it on the low setting. You can place it high too. So knuckle yourself in here so the back of your right tricep connects with the inside of your right leg. And then from here, you peel open. Yeah, and I started using my hand knuckle down when my neck was really bad because it just kind of took me out of that upper. So, and then I didn't leave it behind. I kept it because I like it. It feels better to me. Yeah. Yeah. And then do whatever you like with your top arm. Maybe a half bind, maybe your hand just slides to your hip, maybe a full bind if you got it in you. But keep breathing yourself open, keep wrapping open. You want to kind of lean back a little bit, get the crown of the head over that front foot. Yeah. Grip the right hip in super strong. Stay with it right here. Warrior two, pull it up. Take it to the floor through a vinyasa or simply just go to dog, you pick. Up dog should be smooth if you're taking it at this point. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot lands when you get there, crescent lunge, we keep it moving. Yeah, arms rise. So slide your arms forward in crescent, just do this much. Find your right arm and wrap it underneath your left. For some reason, this doesn't feel good. You could always just squeeze your shoulders and give yourself a bear hug. Good. So find your balance and then wrap yourself up into eagle. It may take 2 or 3 steps to get your leg around, but bend your standing left leg as deeply as you can. Steer your hips back. Maybe the foot wraps, maybe it doesn't. Doesn't matter if it does. Lift the elbows to get that upper shoulder nice and open. And then find your breath and your focus. Squeeze. Squeeze the legs really tight. Just take your torso forward like 2 or 3 inches. Just find some extension. You're going to unravel the best that you can into half moon. So set up the block, focus on the standing left leg and unravel yourself. And if you fall, just reset. Good. And then find your positioning here. And if you need to reset, so the left hand down and the left foot down. Add in whatever you think you need to make this feel good. There's always one side the balance is better. It's okay. Take your right hand to your hip, Jody, and then just lift from there. That's it. If you added in any fun things, release out. They may not be considered fun to you, but they're fun to me. Take a giant step back, warrior 2. So your left foot is forward, warrior 2. Iron out your stance. Make sure your left foot is completely forward. Your back toes are on an angle. You're heavy on your hips. And then open up your arms. And then close your eyes and hold 5 or 6 breaths. So, you know, there was resistance when you hold these poses, but that's the point. Wrap your inner thigh open. Sit a little deeper. Good. Blink your eyes open. Utilize a block if you have it. Place it to the instep of your foot and get in there. Use the back of the tricep against the inner part of that leg and reach the right arm up. Good. Grip the left hip in. And then add in whatever you want with your right hand. Maybe it's just staying really simple and you're just having your right arm up. Maybe the hand comes to your hip. Maybe you're wrapping it behind you. Maybe you're going to a full bind. Hug your left hip in super strong and turn open. You got it. Breathe. So once you find it, we have to hold it. Stay with it. Warrior 2, pull it out. Come up nice and smooth. Take it to the floor, vinyasa. Upward facing dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Stay with me, guys. Good. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Sorry, John, we had to go. Long spine, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms. So separate your feet to their hips width distance here. Slide your hands to your hips and step your left foot back about 3 feet. Walk the right foot a little to the right. Right hand stays on your hip. Left arm extends up towards the sky. Good. You're going to come halfway down. Before you just plop into this, like give yourself a little adjustment, right hip back, and then come the rest of the way down. I always use a block in this pose. I place it high on the instep of my foot and then move my right hand to the flat part of my back. I check in with alignment, steer the hips back, and then stack open. Twisting triangle. Pay attention to a few things. Your bottom shoulder, that it's not dumping down. You got it, Sarah. Perfect. Your weight is evenly distributed in both your legs, and your hips are moving back as your spine moves forward. And then one last little thing, and then I'll let you be. Make sure you're not looking back. Look sideways or look up. Right hand to the floor. Move the block to the side, spring forward, right into the extension, long spine, hands to your hips and pull yourself up. Step your right foot back 3 feet or so, walk the left foot over. So left hand guides to left hip, right arm extends up, find that extension, come halfway down, steer the left hip back, anchor through your feet, and then find the pose. Right hand to the block, left hand to the flat part of your back. Yeah, you got it, Joe, perfect. Turn your back right toes a little more forward towards the sliding glass door, and I think you're gonna have a little more perfect stability. Rob, switch hands. Take your right hand, yep. Now you're in business. It's actually one of the greatest hamstring releases, an IT band stretch, yep. Look sideways, look up, try not to look back. When we look back, we round. 2 more. Good, look to the floor, left hand down, just move the block to the side, spring forward. Find a lot of extension, and then this time fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. Good, here we go. Arms stretch straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine, guide your left leg back. Good, rise, high lunge. So if you start to pay attention from the beginning to where we are now, that should have felt a lot easier and a lot better. Drag your hands to prayer, lean out, hook the elbow and twist. You can take this into an easy twist. You can drop your knee if something's going on. Lean back a little bit. Open up your arms if you want a little more. Two more. Okay, look to the floor. Let's do something a little fun. So take the hands down. You're gonna pivot. You're gonna pivot, pivot, pivot through center. You're not gonna come up, okay? And different than what we did before, you're gonna walk your hands off your mat way forward into like this crazy big down dog. So your legs are super wide. Let your head go. Hold here, 4 breaths. Breathe your hips way high up. Yeah. Good, start to walk your hands slowly underneath your shoulders, creep a little to the left, pivot the right heel. Now you're facing the back skinny edge of the mat. So you no longer can see me, you just have to listen to my voice. High on the ball of your back foot, rise, crescent lunge, facing a different direction. Yeah. Hands to prayer, inhale your breath, lean out, hook the elbow and twist. You got it, you're gonna twist to the left. High on the ball of your back foot. Yeah, let your right heel pop up. It's the same pose, you just go in a different direction, and it's crazy how your brain goes wild. So disoriented. It's why they tell you to brush your teeth with an opposite hand. Yes, so your brain does different things. Lean back and get in there. Twist open, a little more. Hands to frame your front foot. It's the same thing. You're gonna stay low, just go down the center and creep and take this really big down dog. Walk your hands out as far as they're gonna go. It may be onto someone's mat. So you're gonna go down the center. Yep. And walk your hands all the way out. Nice work. And then stay low. Don't let your head lift up. Creep to the right foot. So you're just gonna stay low and creep low. And when you get there, rebend your right leg, stay low, don't come up. Step to a plank. Halfway to a push-up, up dog or cobra here. Hips up and back, down dog. And then guide your right knee forward into half pigeon. Stay really low to the ground and fold. It's a very low flying plane. Let yourself just melt into this posture the best that you can. No, you know this song. Down dog. Slide your left leg forward, half pigeon. Yeah. Just let yourself kind of melt into it. So Anna, I'll teach you a little trick. Curl the right toes into the mat, iron out that thigh, make sure it's straight, and then see if you could relax the foot. Perfect. And that just kind of gives you a little basic alignment for yourself. Great. Stay a little longer. Good. Use the strength of your body. Start to come up. Lean on the left side. Swing your right leg around. Bring your block with you. Lay down on your backs. Bend your knees in half like this. Yeah, just make a little tabletop. Take your hands behind your head and take your right elbow to your left knee and extend your right leg out. Yeah. And then come back to center with your legs in tabletop and switch sides. Come back to center and switch. Good. Come back to center and switch. Good. You can pick up the pace and go at your own breath for 20, 19, 18, breathe, 17, 16, keep going, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, hopefully I can count, 10, 9, not my strong point, 8, keep going, 7, slow it down and really make it count for 6, for 5, squeeze it on the up for 4, good for 3, it's good stuff for 2, and 1, come to center, lower the feet, lift the hips, bridge. I'd like to robot the arms and bridge, lift the tailbone. Take it like this to start for the first one. Maybe clasp the hands and kind of caddy the shoulders underneath. Yeah. Good, and then exhale the breath lower down. If you're on a block, just stay. So now lift the hips up again, slide a block underneath, or if you're going for the restorative version, or flip your palms if you're going for a bigger, bolder experience here for full wheel, but turn the feet forward and press up. So the block can go any direction. It can go low, it can go medium, it can actually go even high. If you got a skitty, sad block, it's gonna be a little harder to balance, like it needs a stake probably, right? But that's okay, you can make it work. If you're going up into full wheel, really nice. Lift up big and bold. If you're on a block and you want to find extension with your legs straight up, and lift the legs up towards the sky. Clasp your hand stuff around that block. Nice. You okay? It's okay. Yeah. If you went up into full wheel, you can come out. You don't have to stay. If you want to take one more, you can. Flip the palms, chin to chest, giant breath in, and lift up one more time, or just stay. Yeah, give it a go. It's humid, you might as well take advantage. Or just repeat a version of bridge or supported shoulder stand. Nice work. Exhale the breath, start to come out. Bend your legs in half, take your feet to the floor. Remove any objects out from underneath. Thanks. Squeeze your knees in towards your chest and reach for the outer blades of your feet. Take a happy baby. Lower back melt, shoulder blades melt. Yeah. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. Just drop the legs over to the left together. Upper body a little to the right, and supine twist here. Good. Come up to center. Drop your knees to the right together, and upper body a little to the left. Good. Come up to center. Even it out. And then slide yourself into rest, Shavasana. Yeah, complete rest. And I know it's the hardest pose, but see what you can find. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, just relax. Big breath in. Exhale it out. Bring your arms up over the top of the head. Give yourself a full stretch from fingertips to toes. And then hug your knees in, give them a big squeeze. Rock up however you like to a seated position, or you can stay down, doesn't matter. And then sit up nice and tall and just feel the effects of the practice in your body. So sometimes after you practice, you feel really jazzed up. Sometimes you feel tired for a little bit. So anything goes. Hands to prayer, bow your head. Always have some good gratitude though. Lift the head, open the eyes. Namaste. Mission accomplished. Yes, I'll be back the week of the 18th. Yep.